Last year in Rosemont, Illinois, an action-packed Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited Softball finished with Alicia Ocasio atop the leaderboard. Just last month, the supercharged inaugural season of AUX had a storybook walk-off that led to Danielle O'Toole wearing the gold. The next chapter of Athletes Unlimited Softball begins today with a fresh batch of new faces and returning fan favorites. Welcome everyone, Athletes Unlimited Softball presented by our official sustainability partner, Aspiration. There is no place like home, it's been said before, and that is where AU Softball is. We are back at Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois. And folks, we've got a doubleheader. What's new? Team Eberle taking on Team Chitister to get us started. If you're not familiar, we've been at it for 3 years now. Athletes Unlimited Softball showcasing 60 of the best athletes in the world. No one stays on the same team each and every week. It's divided for 5 consecutive weeks until we come up with one individual champion. And we find that champion because we use an innovative scoring system where players gain points and lose points throughout the course of a 7-inning game. So glad to have you along for the ride. This is going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. With my partner, Madison Shipman, I am Eric Collins. We got 60 of the best athletes in the world. We've got wonderful weather. We're expecting to have just a glorious weekend to get season number 3 underway.
Well, I know we're very excited, but if we're excited, you can only imagine how these players out there on the field feel. They know how much Athletes Unlimited means to them, and listening to them this week, they are so excited to get back out onto the field and competing. And we know that the top 4 performers from the 2021 championship season are captains here in week 1 here in 2022. One of those captains is Amanda Chidester. She is by far one of the most feared hitters here in Athletes Unlimited. She has a great veteran presence. She's going to try to pass on her veteran knowledge to a lot of the rookies on her team to try to get them a win early, but they're going to have their hands full going up against Team Eberle that had one of the hottest hitters in the AUX season back in June in Sam Fisher. And she is somebody who really changed the way that she approached her preparation for that AUX season. She saw a lot more live pitching and it led to a lot of success. You can see the jump in her finishes from 2020 to 2021 and of course that 2022 AUX season.
We told you about the innovative scoring system. This thing has been perfected. This algorithm is amazing. The most important thing, obviously, is to win games. You win a game, everyone gets 50 points. You win an inning, everyone gets 10 points on your team. And then, of course, there's individual stats, 10 points for a single, 20 points for a double, so on and so forth. Big money, too, when you become an MVP. The MVP 1, which is voted after the game, that gets 60 extra points. MVP 2 is 40. MVP 3 gets an additional 20 points. Well, Madison and I, we're not alone. We've also got Key Michael in the building. She's kind of everywhere at any given moment. Key, what's going on, my friend?
You guys, I love that you say I'm everywhere at any given moment because I just try to be everywhere. I'm here, softball has started, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be chatting to some parents, chatting to some coaches. Anyone who's in the building, we're going to get them to you guys. So enjoy.
Key, thank you so much. We love it. Sunshine. Gorgeous weather. We're not expecting to see a drop of rain all weekend long. We've got 2 games tonight. We've got 2 games on Saturday. And we have got 2 games on Sunday. Let's get her done. Week 1 action. Year 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball. And this is our first look at a true rookie coming out of Duke. The original Duke Blue Devil softball player, Peyton St George, is going to get the start.
You know, Eric, I was just about to say, how about the rookie getting the start here, week 1, day 1, and that's Peyton St George, and you're going to see her come in there with some pretty good velocity, a lot of upspin on her pitches, but she has a really strong changeup. One of her favorite pitches to throw is that off-speed pitch, and you know she's going to need to use it going up against this lineup.
And we're underway. Athletes Unlimited Softball champion season number 3. Here in Rosemont, Illinois. Let's take a look at the lineup card for Team Eberle. As per usual, who'd you rather start a game with than Victoria Hayward? She wears number 1, was the first person to commit to Athletes Unlimited, and now she's leading off our 3rd season. Vic has been a part of everything that Athletes Unlimited has been about through 3 years, making a lot of vital decisions. She's followed by Jasmine Jackson, same could be said with her. Hannah Flippen, Mia Davidson. That's a big compliment for a rookie to be in the 4-hole in her first pro game. You got Sam Fisher, Kelsey Harshman, Taylor Edwards, Allison Febri, and Kiki Stokes O'Connor batting 9th against Peyton St George. A little bit low, and Victoria Hayward starts the game with a walk. So that's points for Victoria Hayward, a +8 for base on balls, and she could run. You can always pick up points by stealing a bag. Defensively, that's a really good outfield left to right. Aaliyah Andrews is going to play center. Virtually every other guy, but she's not going to play center. We got McClenny in center. The right fielder, Bubba Nichols. Infield, you got Sydney Sherrill, Anissa Urtez, Sierra Romero, and the first baseman, Amanda Chidester. Behind the plate, Erica Piancastelli. Now, right now, Peyton St George having a hard time finding the strike zone, Madison.
Yeah, going up against Jasmine Jackson, another one of those triple threat lefty batters, similar to what we saw in Victoria Hayward. Jasmine Jackson's going to try to use the turf here to her advantage. Peyton St George finally getting a strike in there. I think it's so important for these pitchers, too, to be able to establish the strike zone early and get ahead of these batters, because every single one of these hitters wants to be in good hitters counts, good leverage counts, knowing that the pitchers are going to have to bring that ball into the strike zone. You're playing right into their hands.
There goes Hayward. Got a great jump, and she is safe. So stolen base for Victoria Hayward. That is a +10. So we don't have an out yet so far here in our championship season number 3, and Victoria Hayward, without a base hit, has 18 points.
And I think you're going to see things move very fast, especially for Team Eberle here, with a lot of speed right at the top of their lineup.
Softly into left center. That's going to get down. That's going to score a run. Hayward charging around third. She'll score standing. That's a double for Jasmine Jackson. Didn't hit it particularly hard, but hit to a perfect spot.
And the benefit of being in a really good count, to a good hitter's count, knowing that Peyton St George is going to try to bring that ball into the strike zone, and she is absolutely ready for it, taking advantage of the fact, too, that she knows her teammate Victoria Hayward is on second base. So if she can just get this ball to find any grass out in the outfield, she knows that they're going to go ahead and score the first run of this ball game.
You get points for winning an inning, so obviously Team Eberle off to a good start, scoring a run here in the top of the first inning, now looking to add on. Here's Hannah Flippen. Hannah Flippen's been a big part of Team USA over the last handful of years. Part of the World Games team that won gold in Birmingham, Alabama earlier this summer. Hannah Flippen back for her 3rd year with Athletes Unlimited. Her best finish was her first season. That's when she finished with her number. She finished 19th.
Did you plan it that way, Eric? That was pretty good.
We talked about it. Don't get any more points. You got to stop at 19. The symbolism is great. Former Utah All-American, who is a great example of being a great college player and getting better as you mature.
And I think a lot of it has to do with her approach up at the plate and her at-bat. She has a really good eye. You can see her right there. She's not even thinking about swinging on that pitch, because she's paid attention to how Peyton St George has thrown her teammates before her, knowing that she's struggling a little bit to find that strike zone. So she is being very patient up at the plate, waiting for something good to come across.
Flippen drives it foul. We're starting here at 6 o'clock local time here in the Chicagoland area. We're just west of downtown Chicago, close to O'Hare International Airport. And you can see the sun. It is still a-blazing. It's not particularly hot today, but there is a sunny blue sky, and it looks like that's going to be a factor for everyone on the field. Nubbs foul again.
The one thing I'm looking for, too, are the flags blowing over towards right field, especially for these outfielders. That's something that you're going to see them communicate about throughout the entire ball game, which direction that wind's blowing, to make sure that they are tracking it all the way.
Smoked into center field. That falls in front of McClenny. Here comes Jackson around third. She'll score standing. It's a 2-0 lead for Team Eberle. That's a good pro at bat for Hannah Flippen.
You just stole the words right out of my mouth. A fantastic at-bat by Hannah Flippen. She fouled off a couple of pitches over towards the left side. Notice that she was just a tad bit early on her swings and makes an adjustment. That pitch is left right over the heart of the plate, perfectly on time, drives that hard line drive out into center field, and Jasmine Jackson able to score easily.
First ball swinging, Mia Davidson flies out to center. McClenny on the run trying to get it to first, but Flippen back with a slide. That's the first out of our ball game. Davidson flies out to center. familiar face. For those with a discerning eye, that's Odyssey Alexander, coaching first base, talking to Hannah Flippen, having a good laugh about it. Here's Sam Fisher, coming off a phenomenal AUX season back in San Diego in June. Takes a hearty cut, comes up empty, 0-1. Fisher's third season with Athletes Unlimited. One of the original commits. Ball gets away from the catcher, and that allows Flippen to take an extra 60 feet.
It still seems like Peyton St. George again is just struggling to command her pitches so far in this ball game. Missing that one way down in the dirt. I'm not surprised that we're seeing Mariah Mazon taking a few warm-up pitches over there in the bullpen.
Fouled into the catcher's glove. Peyton St. George, first player to ever commit to Marissa Young and the Duke Blue Devil softball program when they were just starting up. Took a leap of faith, and that leap of faith was rewarded. Made it to the NCAA tournament this year, made it to the super regional round. I think Duke softball has a chance to be really good in years to come.
And how they were able to do it so quickly, too, I think speaks volumes to what somebody like a Peyton St. George did for that program.
Oh, man. Sam Fisher didn't mean to. Little half swing and gets a base hit out of it. That ball just scooted past the shortstop, Hertez. So it's a single for Fisher. Runners on at the corners.
We talked about Sam Fisher wanting to carry what she did in AUX here into championship season. And the biggest difference that you're already going to notice from that AUX season to here in Rosemont is the fact that the infield is a turf infield. And right there, I think that played to Sam Fisher's advantage, being able to scoot that ball just past the glove of Anissa Hertez for a base hit.
Here's Kelsey Harshman. Swings at the first pitch, and this one hits softly, and that's not going to get away from Hertez. One of the best defenders in the world as a shortstop. Hertez gets a big second out.
And it's huge to be able to get an out like that. Yes, of course, it looks easy, but you get a little bit more momentum on your team side, and specifically for Peyton St. George in the circle. She's a rookie. She's trying to get her routine out there in the circle. To be able to get a big out like that, to try to get your team in the dugout, is so important, too, when you've got those inning points on the line coming up in the bottom of the first.
Here's the veteran catcher, Taylor Edwards. I'm not sure if there's a player more universally respected than Taylor Edwards. Played at every single level. College All-American with her twin sister Tatum at Nebraska. Has played for Team USA, has played professionally here in the States, National Pro Fast Pitch. She's played internationally over in Japan. She's caught all the great pitchers over the years.
Taylor Edwards is somebody, too, that's always had that respect. She's somebody that I played against, of course, her and her twin sister Tatum, growing up in travel ball and in high school. And I remember specifically in high school when we were going to face them, my coach asked, how do you pitch to Taylor Edwards? I said, you don't. You just don't even pitch her anything close, because she has one of the best swings in the game. She has a great eye up there. And she ended up going yard on a changeup, too, of course. But this pitch outside, good location, just barely off of the plate. Seemed like Taylor Edwards way out in front on that swing.
Little popper into center field. Another two-strike base hit, and another run scores. Flippen darts home from third, give the RBI to Taylor Edwards, and the lead is 3-0 for Team Eberle.
St. George tried to work the ball back inside to Taylor Edwards. Gets jammed up. Look at the way she tries to get her hands inside of that pitch, but she is so strong. She's able to muscle that ball out into center field for a base hit and additional run for Team Eberle.
Allison Febre's the batter. First professional at bat for Febre. Febre has had some playing time this summer. Played for Team Canada in the World Games over in Alabama. Former Oklahoma State Cowgirl. She began her college experience in the SEC at Georgia. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning for St. George. And the only 2 outs that St. George has gotten, both were on the first pitch to the batter, the first pitch to Davidson, and the first pitch to Kelsey Harchman.
And both flyouts too, and I think that speaks to the type of upspin that St. George gets on her pitches. She's going to induce a lot of fly ball outs, really use that outfield to get her team back into the dugout.
First of 2. Team Ocasio, Team Zirkle. Captains Alicia Ocasio, last year's champion, and Morgan Zirkle. That'll be later tonight on this field. Softly right side, stays fair, and Chitister tags Febri on the way by. Side is retired, but damage done. 3-0. Team Eberle leads Team Chitister as we head to the bottom of the first inning. We are live here in the village of Rosemont, Illinois. They call it Rosemont for a reason. Welcome back, everyone. A productive first inning for Team Eberle. They scored 3 runs on 4 base hits. Now they'll go on defense and try and win the inning by holding Team Chitister down. Haley Wagner, now in her 3rd go-around with Athletes Unlimited. She was one of the originals with Athletes Unlimited back in 2020. Means a lot to this professional game. She has been everywhere over the last decade as a pro, and she still is at the top of her game.
She's got a really good curveball, rise ball combination. So again, a lot of upspin on her pitches, but it's that changeup, that off-speed pitch that she can throw in any count and in any location. You're going to see her work that pitch early and often.
This is what makes Athletes Unlimited fantastic. It's the first at bat at the bottom of the first inning. You got Haley Wagner, who's been a pro for 8 years. You got Haley McClenny in the batter's box, maybe the best hitter in the world today. So you don't have to wait long to get great matchups. Let's take a look at the lineup card for Team Chitister. McClenny, Romero, and Chitister. Wow. You had in Piancastelli in the 4th spot, Anissa Urtez, Bubba Nichols, an Olympian, Allie Harrell, Sydney Sherrill, and Aaliyah Andrews. That is a top third of the lineup that is as good as anything you're ever going to see. McClenny, Romero, and Chitister.
That is so stacked. And the one, again, that stands out to me in that lineup, too, is Sierra Romero, and she's somebody who suffered an injury a couple of years ago, has had to battle through several surgeries, but came out in that AUX season red hot.
Hit well, but foul. Haley McClenny. Count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at Romero on deck. The other thing that I really enjoy about watching these athletes here in AU is the way that they communicate to each other throughout the ball game. So you're going to see these players run back into the dugout and immediately talk to their teammates about what they're seeing up at the plate so that they can make those quick adjustments, because they know just how important each one of these inning points is, how important the team win points are. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to make their teammates as good as possible and prepare them for their at-bats before they even step foot in the box.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Loop down the left field line and foul out of play. So McClenny has sprayed 3 foul balls down that left field line.
And you talk about people coming in to this championship season off of red-hot softball appearances, and somebody like Haley McClenny being the MVP of the World Games in Birmingham, USA coming away with a gold medal.
Clubbed into center field. Hayward over her head and off the wall. McClenny can fly. She'll stop at second. That ball was laced. 2-bagger for McClenny, and she's aboard with nobody out.
Several hard-hit balls that we're seeing in this ball game already, and a lot of them to dead center, which tells me that these batters are perfectly on time for the pitches that are coming in there. A line drive over the head of Victoria Hayward, and you know that McClenny is going to get into second base easily on that ball to the wall. Rack up 20 points for Haley McClenny.
Popped foul. All right, everyone at Zingerman's right now in Ann Arbor has dropped their sandwich, and they're wrapped in attention. We've got 2 of the all-time greats in the history of the Michigan Wolverines program battling, and we still have Amanda Chidester in the on-deck circle. This is like a Michigan dream situation here. Haley Wagner, Sierra Romero with Amanda Chidester in the on-deck circle. Good golly. Hutch wrapped in attention. Changeup misses a little bit down low. Yeah, it's good to see Sierra Romero back and healthy. She finished 12th AUX softball back in June. No one swings a more vicious bat than Romero.
And she's so good at sticking to game plans. And I know that that sounds like common sense when I'm saying that, but when you're a batter and you go up to the at-bat saying, hey, I'm gonna look for a changeup, a lot of times if you see that fastball coming down the middle, you're really tempted to take a swing at it. But when I realized that Sierra Romero was on top of her game was in that AUX season where she went up there, sat changeup, and drove it out of the park. And it's so confident. There's so much passion that you can see every single time that she steps into the box. Somebody that worked so hard to get back to this elite level, training every single day to make sure that her body was healthy, and here performing so well in AUX in June, and now trying to carry that over here into the championship season.
Wagner wanted that call. Little bit outside. 2-2.
I feel like I can hear Danielle Laurie somewhere saying, that's a strike. We need that call. Pitchers
need that one.
call.
Yes, we need that one. Lifted. Should be playable. Foul territory. Catch is made by Jackson. Heads up base running by McClenny, who's caught well. She takes an extra base, and so she is now at third with one out.
Might not have been the ultimate result that Sierra Romero wanted, but it was a productive at-bat. She saw a lot of pitches, able to hit that one far enough over into right field to advance Haley McClenny, and then right there you see her coming back to talk to Erica Piancastelli about what she's seeing out of the hand of Haley Wagner to make sure she is fully prepared for her at-bat to try to score some runs.
It's crazy. Romero and Wagner friendly clearly from their days at Ann Arbor together, but at least this week, teammates, and nothing is off limits. Sierra Romero is going to share any secret she can pick up with her teammate this week in Erica Piancastelli.
I think that's something that makes this league so fun, is a lot of these players are very familiar with each other, either playing with or against each other in the college ranks, playing against each other in the pro ranks. And you hear them talking about how they're willing to share any piece of information possible to give their team the best chance to win in that week.
Another all-Michigan matchup. Wagner thrown to Amanda Chitister. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. This is her last go-around. If you're not aware, this will be her last season of professional softball. She's going to retire at the end of this Athletes Unlimited softball season. And what a career it has been. Spanning over a decade. Internationally, Team USA, an Olympian last summer. Longtime member of Team USA, but of course there's that wide gap where there wasn't Olympics to be played. Still played in Pan Am Games, World Championships. And she's been a fixture, National Pro Fast Pitch, and now Athletes Unlimited. Wagner, beautiful pitch, got Chidester to chase, and that is a massive second out.
Wagner was really working that curveball outside to Amanda Chitister, got one called for a strike, brought in another one a little bit further inside, and it seemed like that's where Chitister was anticipating the ball going, a curveball coming inside to her hands, but Wagner decided to stay outside and gets her first strikeout on the afternoon.
Here's one of the great power hitters with Athletes Unlimited over the years, Erica Piancastelli. Played at McNeese State. Piancastelli, an Olympian last year, Team Italy. Born in Italy, raised first 5 years of her life over in Italy. And Wagner maybe sensing the moment, very careful with Piancastelli, 2 balls and a strike. Off-speed pitch, Piancastelli in front.
Eric, I know you like to pick out early in the season who you think is going to perform really well. And to me, the person that stands out that I think is going to perform really well this season is Erica Piancastelli. And one of the reasons, of course, we know what she can do on the field. She has a great swing. She's a great defender. But it's her mindset. I think she's in a really great state of mind, listening to her talk about being able to compete in a home run derby back in London just a few weeks ago. She said she learned so much from an MLB veteran like Nick Swisher, and not so much about swing mechanics, but about his mentality, his mindset that he takes into every single day. And she said that that's something that she's adapted to her own life. She feels like she's in the best state of mind to come into this championship season, and she's somebody that I definitely have my eye on.
One of the greatest Division I softball players with what she put up at McNeese State. And playing at this level means a lot to her too, because some people, McNeese State, no, she's the goods. Off-speed pitch, softly. Flippen has yet to make a mistake in 3 years defensively with Athletes Unlimited. Always a smile on her face, too. Good job by Haley Wagner. Leadoff double goes by the wayside. It is an inning win for everyone on Team Eberle. Coming up next half inning, Key Michael. She will talk to Aaliyah Andrews. The parents of Aaliyah Andrews in the building. Pretty cool. We'll have that when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Team Eberle leading Team Chitister by a score of 3-0. We're looking at second-year pro Aaliyah Andrews. Key Michael is standing by with Aaliyah's mom. Key, take it away.
I'm here with Janine, and I'm so glad that I found you because not only do you have one daughter who is awesome at softball, but you have another daughter who played here in the first league, so there's always been an Andrews in the league. Yeah. So you've always been an AU fan.
Always, yeah.
What's the best part about watching your daughters out there playing?
I guess both AJ and Aaliyah, but also my younger daughter Athena, all play outfield. They're all lefty slappers, and what gives us so much joy is seeing them diving, making the diving catches that gets the crowd excited, seeing them running the bases and stealing. It just, I don't know, just seeing them being successful on the field gives us so much joy. We love it.
And they're successful because they learned a lot of it from you. Athleticism runs in your family, and you gave them everything they know.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, what is Aaliyah like off the field when she's not playing softball?
Aaliyah loves to hang out with her friends. She likes to go to the beach. When she comes home, we catch some time to binge watch some series on Netflix or whatever.
Who doesn't?
But yeah, we just like hanging out at home, really.
And you only had her for 1 week between softball in San Diego and coming here.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not enough.
I know.
Aaliyah, spend more time with your folks. Well, thank you so much for being on the broadcast. We're so happy that you're here and part of the AU family.
Oh, thank you. So
Cheers.
happy to be here.
Back to you guys.
Key, thank you so much. We're beginning our second inning. We've got Kiki Stokes O'Connor. This is her first go-around with Athletes Unlimited. Familiar name, though, to softball fans. Played at Nebraska. Played National Pro Fast Pitch. Recently, congratulations to her, named the head coach at Kansas City, formerly Kansas City. And a called strike 3. Peyton St George, her first professional strikeout. Kiki Stokes O'Connor out number 1 in the second inning.
St. George goes with this pitch, low and outside. Look at that arm side run to that pitch, too. So it's moving away from the lefty. Kiki Stokes O'Connor racks up her first strikeout, and it's looking to start off the top of the second inning here.
Here's Victoria Hayward, her second look at St. George. Hayward had a really good AUX out in San Diego, finished 13th. She was on some streak middle of the season where she was getting multiple hits every single game. Hayward, just another example of what makes Athletes Unlimited special. She's been playing forever, and she's getting better every year.
They just continue to get better, and that's what is so impressive to me, is to watch all these athletes compete year after year, season after season, and continue to work on their craft, perfect their craft. And I know, talking to the slapper, somebody like Victoria Hayward, they were so excited to be able to utilize the dirt out in San Diego for the AUX season, and now here getting to utilize the turf too. I know it's a bit of a different feel playing on turf versus the dirt, but you can get some really good bounces on the infield if you're a slapper.
Beautiful pitch. Wow, back-to-back strikeouts, both of them looking for Peyton St. George.
That's that off-speed pitch that Peyton St. George is going to throw. Pulls the string on it about 55 miles per hour. I have a feeling that Victoria Hayward might have thought that pitch was a bit too far inside, but it looked like a perfect strike to me.
Here's Jasmine Jackson. Little number to the shortstop, Urtez. You better try someone else. Ortez is airtight at shortstop. Really good second inning for Peyton St George. Only needs 10 pitches to retire the side in order.
My brothers always laugh when people slide back into first, so I'm gonna get laughed at.
Why?
I don't know, they think it's nerdy.
I think, yeah.
But like, I didn't feel like diving. Yeah. I really wanted to delay steal home off Stelly, but I was like, oh. I like it better when we score like one every inning. So like,
it's so fun.
maybe let's just score one every inning.
Yeah, Vic. Yeah, Vic.
You can go a long way just by being talented. But when you have talent and you play with a joy and a sense of wonder like Hannah Flippen, man, you can conquer the world. Wonderful sound listening to her and how she's thinking her way through a game.
Yeah, I feel like I've never thought about somebody either diving or sliding back into a base, and now that I think about it, I always dove back into the bases, but that's because I was not good at sliding, so to me there was only one option.
Ortez deep to center field, and it's gone! Our first homer of Season 3 with Athletes Unlimited Softball, and it immediately is an inning win for Team Chitister. Anissa Ortez makes it a 3-1 ball game.
I love the aggressiveness that we just saw out of Anissa Ortez, knowing that her team needed a run, they needed to get on the board, and this is a pitch up in the zone, all the way up at the letters, and she takes her barrel straight to it again, perfectly on time. All the hard hits that we have seen today have gone to dead center. That one leaves the yard for the first home run of this championship season.
247 feet to dead center. Bubba Nichols down the right field line. Single, maybe more. She'll stop at first. So 2 pitches into our second inning, and already the homer and the single. That was a 50-point swing of the bat for Anissa Ortez. 40 points for the homer, 10 points for allowing her team to win the inning.
And really, I think more importantly, too, it brought all that momentum back on her team's side to try to claw their way back into this ball game after going down by 3 runs in the top of the first inning.
Anissa Ortez, the very first pick for her captain, Amanda Chidester. Allie Harrell, rookie from Marshall. Got 2 players from Marshall on this year's field. We also got Morgan Zirkle, one of the captains in our night game. Harrell gave you a good at bat.
She has a fantastic eye. Had 175 walks in her career at Marshall.
It's like a full season, doing nothing but walking. You still get a scholarship if you're doing nothing but walking?
Well, she earns her walks, too. It's not like she goes up there looking to walk, but she is so patient. I like to say that it's selfishly aggressive. She is swinging at what she wants to swing at, and she's not going to play into the hands of what the pitchers are trying to throw to her. She also does a fantastic job of keeping her hands inside of outside pitches, like we just saw on that foul ball down the left field line.
2 balls and a strike to Harrell. Allie Harrell from the Columbus, Ohio area. Her lifetime collegiate on-base percentage, get this, .562. 56% of the time she came to the plate, she reached first base. And she wasn't doing that with bunt singles. She was swinging away, hitting for power.
And taking the walks when she was given the walks.
Catcher Edwards set up way outside. Wagner hit the mitt, and it's a clear ball. Already an inning win for Team Chitister. Home run by Ortez. Yep, that's the eye you're talking about, the Allie Harrell. Runners on at first and at second, still nobody out.
And it's pitches like that, pitches that aren't missing by much, that are just barely low in that strike zone. But just historically has that great eye up at the plate. And now it seems like we're seeing Haley Wagner trying to make adjustments in the circle. She did a great job of getting ahead of batters back in the first inning, and it seemed like that's what these batters had zoned in on here in the second, looking to be aggressive early in the count, so she tries to dance around the strike zone to Allie Harrell and gives up that free pass. Right on cue, we're seeing Carrie Eberle getting up in the bullpen, taking a couple warm-up pitches.
Yeah, it's Carrie Eberle's decision. She's the captain. this week, Team Eberle, so whenever she wants to come into the game, it's her prerogative. If she wants to come in and play second base, that's her prerogative. That's the great thing about Athletes Unlimited. One of the great things is you control your own destiny if you're one of the captains. First professional at bat for Sydney Sherrill. Sherrill from Florida State. Won a national championship as a freshman, 2018. Was part of that great Florida State Seminole team. No pressure at all. She was the one who replaced Jessie Warren at third base at Florida State.
Both of those athletes play a fantastic third base. I still think about that diving catch on the sack bunt attempt that Jessie Warren had. But Sydney Sherrill has made some great plays over at the hot corner as well. And she's somebody, too, who is really well known for being able to spray the ball across the field into the outfield. She has some power. She can leave the yard, but really she is the queen of doubles. Can really hit those balls into the gaps.
Good job by Wagner. That is the first out of the third inning. She strikes out Sherrill. Now coming up tomorrow, we got a full day of games, Athletes Unlimited, starting with the lacrosse doubleheader beginning at 1:30 Eastern time. Our night of softball kicks off at 6:30 Eastern with Team Zirkel taking on Team Chitister, followed by game 2. We're going to have Team Eberle, Team Ocasio. Don't miss out on a full Saturday of Athletes Unlimited. And flipped foul, third base side by Aaliyah Andrews. This is unique and awesome, the fact that we've got 2 Athletes Unlimited sports going on simultaneously. People are trying to figure out what's going on that lacrosse leaderboard at the same time as the leaderboard here with softball is taking shape. I'm told that the world is buzzing about Charlotte North. Are you familiar with Charlotte North?
I will say I did watch several highlight videos of Charlotte North, and I am so impressed.
The future of lacrosse. Andrews bounces right back to the pitcher, Haley Wagner. And there are now 2 outs, but you get runners on at second and at third. All right, so 2 outs, 2 on, and 1 tough customer coming to the plate. Haley McClenny. In any other universe, you'd think about pitching around McClenny, but you can't with Athletes Unlimited. After her, Sierra Romero. Wagner loves that call. Got the benefit of the doubt, 0-1. McClenny's first time up ripped a 70-mile-per-hour double off of Wagner. McClenny's been as consistent as they come. Finished 6th in 2020, Athletes Unlimited. Finished 12th last summer with Athletes Unlimited. Again, Wagner thrilled with the call. 1-2. Look at the body language of McClenny.
Wagner might be thrilled. I don't think McClenny shares her enthusiasm on that call on the outside part of the plate. But if I'm Haley Wagner, I am sticking with that spot, throwing that curveball way outside to McClenny. Yeah, I think I would have a similar reaction too, but I know all the pitchers out there want that pitch to be called on a consistent basis.
Ball and 2 strikes. Good soft block, Taylor Edwards. Inning began with a home run by Urtez, single by Nichols, walk to Harrell. Then the strikeout of Sherrill and the bounce out of Andrews. 3-2. There is a base open, but Sierra Romero is the next scheduled batter for Team Chitister. High drives, going to be playable. Hayward looking up into that sun, makes the catch, side retired. But the Urtez home run wins the inning for Team Chitister. It's a 50-point swing for Anissa Urtez.
And how about Anissa Urtez with the first home run of this 2022 championship season, drives it deep out to center field, racks up a couple of points for her team.
Let's take a look at a live look at our Geico leaderboard. Anissa Urtez, the power of the home run. 40 points, one swing of the bat. Her team won the second inning. She's got 50 points to lead everyone. Third inning. Peyton St George, two extremes. She gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning and came back to retire the side in order on just 10 pitches in the second inning. Hannah Flippen, 0-1. It'll be Hannah Flippen, Mia Davidson, and Sam Fisher, 3, 4, and 5, batting against St. George. Hannah Flippen played at Utah, which is, of course, located in Salt Lake City. Took me a while. Another major city in Utah is St. George, Utah. You got Peyton St. George throwing to her. So everyone out there at the Beehive State is alive. This matchup is like joyous.
I'm always so impressed when you're able to come up with things like that, things that I would just never see. But that's what makes this so fun, is you see the game differently than I do.
I love the look right here with not only Hannah Flippen, but everyone on Team Eberle. They're showing the old school stirrups. Look at that. Long, I think they're sanitary sock. Well, I think it's actually a one-piece. No, it's actually old school.
That is
you
a
got an
stirrup.
old school sock, the white sanitary sock, and then you got a stirrup on top of it. Ooh. That is a clear fashion statement. Did you ever use that style?
I have never worn a stirrup. And now, my team, when I was growing up travel ball, we were going to bust out the stirrups, but one of the players tripped and fell, and we never saw the stirrups again. And that was just in practice. That was just in practice. So, no, I had never worn a stirrup.
This is, 60 games over the first 2 years, and then AUX was 6 times 18 games. This is, I think, the first time we've ever seen a stirrup in now the 79th official game with Athletes Unlimited Softball. We will have to ask someone about it. One shortstop to another. Urtez throws out. Flippen. Took a while, but St. George retires. Flippen. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. Here's Mia Davidson. We didn't get a chance to talk about Mia Davidson. Her first time up, she swung at the first pitch and flied out to center. But this is my pick for someone to bust out as a rookie in this year's Athletes Unlimited.
I agree with you. I think that's a fantastic pick. Mia Davidson, one of the best hitters in the college game. Finished her career up at Mississippi State. You can tell the respect that Peyton St. George has for Davidson by starting her off in this at-bat with 2 straight off-speed pitches. And in the scrimmages this past week, she only went 4 for 6 with 4 home runs. All of her hits were home runs in those scrimmage games.
It's amazing. She was also hit with 2 pitches, so she reached base 6 times and scored 6 runs. This is a rookie. Ball and 2 strikes. Athletes Unlimited, points are crucial. You get points for doing a lot of different things. Single, 10, double, 20, triple, 30. You even get points for laying down a sacrifice, playing good team softball. That's a plus 10. A walk or a hit, plus 8. There's some negatives. Get caught stealing. Pitchers get negatives. Every earned run allowed. And so far, so good. We have played 2 championship seasons, 1 AUX season. Every single time, the best player has been identified. There haven't been any flukes.
I do think it's interesting, too, that a pitcher has won every single season of Athletes Unlimited, them getting points for every out that they record out there in the circle. But even in AUX, it seemed like the hitters really had the advantage right at the start. I think we're seeing a little bit of a glimpse here in the first game of this championship season, but as the season went on, it was the pitchers that made the adjustments, and ultimately Danielle O'Toole coming out on top in that AUX season in June.
Yeah, how about this for an oddity? In the history of Athletes Unlimited softball, there have been 3 players whose last names begin with O. Kat Osterman, Alicia Ocasio, and Danielle O'Toole. Those are your 3 winners. Osterman and Ocasio in championship seasons, and O'Toole in the AUX season.
So you're saying since my last name started with an S, I didn't stand a chance?
No, you got to put an O in front of it. Pretend you're Irish for the season.
Can the O be silent?
Madison Ocean. Davidson strikes out, and I'll tell you, this has been a turnaround for Peyton St George. She's retired 6 in a row.
Almost seemed like she got the jitters out in that first inning, and it's really been a product of her attacking the strike zone early, whether it be with the rise ball or that off-speed pitch. As a pitcher, when you get ahead of a batter, you can use your entire repertoire of pitches. So far, it seems like Peyton St George is settling in very nicely, and right on cue, another first pitch strike, and it's the off-speed low in the zone to Sam Fisher.
Well, to be fair to St. George, she did go 3 runs and 4 hits in the first inning, but a lot of those were half swings, little bloops that fell in, ground balls with eyes.
I really think she got herself into a hole by walking Victoria Hayward to start off the ball game, because when you walk Victoria Hayward, you know she's going to try to steal second base, which she did exactly that. And then the first run comes across with a Jasmine Jackson base hit out to the outfield.
Sam Fisher, a little excuse me base hit her first time up, a half swing, found a hole in between the shortstop and third baseman. Chase the pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the best to ever come out of Loyola Marymount. That's not just me saying it. In the Loyola Marymount Athletic Hall of Fame before she was 30 years old. Why wait?
I know we talked about it a bit in the open too, but Sam Fisher, again, a veteran when it comes to professional softball, just continued to work to try to hone in her preparation and worked on a lot more live pitching in this offseason to get ready for Athletes Unlimited.
Urtez. Another 1-2-3 inning for Peyton St. George. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited, Peyton St. George. It's now the bottom of the 3rd inning. We've got inning points on the line. Should Team Chitister score a run, everyone on Team Chitister gets 10 points for winning the inning. Here's our next WNBA game on ESPN and the app. Brianna Stewart and the Seattle Storm going to take on Elena Deladon and the Washington Mystics. Seattle's number 2 in the West, Washington number 3 in the East. That is going to be Saturday, tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Elena Deladon used to play her WNBA games about a half-mile away from here in Rosemont, back when she was with the Chicago Sky. Elena Deladon. Hey, Hannah Flippen, can you hear me down there at shortstop?
I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be phenomenal. We are talking live with the shortstop, Hannah Flippen, who has already had an RBI single today. Hannah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be back.
Oh,
and
my.
Happy to be talking to you, Eric.
I want to ask you about what you're wearing, so we're going to get into this after this pitch. Sierra Romero, little
KJ.
pop-up. Harshman makes the play. 1 out. Hannah, you guys are wearing old-school stirrups. You got socks on and stirrups. What's up with that?
We add a little pizzazz, little flair this season. I love them. I think they just add like a cool tone to the uniforms, and I don't know, the white on white kind of gets boring, like this orange team. So I like the stirrups.
Smoked! Oh my! Can't hit it any harder! Chitty bang bang! It's an inning win for Team Chidester.
Not the fiance is going back-to-back innings.
Oh, you're right.
Not the fiance is going back-to-back innings.
I don't even like her.
Nobody does. So what?
The homer by Anissa Urtez an inning ago gets the inning win for Team Chitister, and now her fiance, Amanda Chitister, a home run here in the 3rd for an inning win.
Chidester just wasting absolutely no time. Goes after this curveball that tails back over the inside part of the plate, and she blasts that one way over that center field wall for another solo shot and gives her team those 10 inning points here in the bottom of the third.
It's because I talked bad about their uniforms. I got it, Wags. Let's take that one.
See, now, Hannah, I know that the socks and the stirrups is the content that everybody is here for, but I want to hear a little bit more from your perspective. Of course, playing on this turf infield, is there anything different that you do from a shortstop perspective when you're playing on dirt versus playing on this turf?
I think the turf is a little bit faster, so you have a little more time, but at the same time, you have to still pick your hops and be mindful that it's going to get on you quick, whereas I feel on the dirt you have to charge the ball a little bit more because you don't know what kind of hop you're going to get. Out here, we're blessed with perfect hops, and it's really comfortable to play on, in my opinion.
Is there a seam right behind you between the infield and outfield, kind of the red dirt and then the green grass?
Not like a seam that you can feel or that affects the game of play. It's pretty smooth. It's got like a little downhill tilt to it, but nothing that's going to like affect the bounce or anything in that regard.
I'm curious, you got two things on your wrist. Can you tell me what you're doing? You got something on your right wrist and something on your left wrist.
One is an Apple Watch, one is a Whoop, and I have permanent tans from them.
High drive, is this gonna be a homer? It is! Erica Piancastelli. Team Chitister going back to back here in the third inning.
Okay, we got one. Here we go.
We got a tie ball game. It's 3-3.
Such powerful swings that we're seeing from Team Chitister in this inning. And it's Erica Piancastelli going a bit of Apo Taco action, driving that one out into the right field bleachers. Such a great swing, a very quiet swing. She knows that that curveball is going to curve back into her barrel, but she stays with it, goes with that pitch to the right side of the field and drives that one a long way.
Back-to-back, no doubt about it, homers. Amanda Chitister straightaway central, and then Erica Piancastelli to the seats in right. Piancastelli's homer coming off the bat, 69 miles per hour. After Amanda Chidister's home run coming off the bat at 76 miles per hour.
All right.
All right, Flippen, that's kind of what softball is, right? You guys throw a couple punches, the other team throws a couple punches.
That's how it works. That's how it works. That's why they say every moment counts, because you just got to keep throwing them. Yeah, Wags.
Every time we talk to you, someone hits a homer, but I want to ask you about your former teammate, Anissa Urtez. You guys played together in college at Utah. She's become a wonderful player.
Right.
Well, what's the difference between Anissa Urtez you see now and what you saw back when you guys were teenagers?
I think she's really evolved offensively. She was always good, but the long ball wasn't her thing, and now she's hitting doubles and hitting homers, and she was definitely an RBI machine in college, but it was more of poke a single through the 5-6 hole, and I think she's just gotten smarter at the plate too. Like, she's used her resources and this experience to just continue to soak in knowledge and make herself better. So it's really obviously shown and demonstrated here today. Yeah, Wags.
And Hannah, when we talk to you guys about coming into these seasons, you guys talk a lot about the mental side of the game, and you had a very specific goal coming into this season, and it was just play, and it was something that you actually have written on your glove as well. Where did that come from?
I think it kind of came back from last year during the AU season, where I was thinking too much about like what inning we had to win or what I had to do at the plate to be at the top of the leaderboard, when I am my best self when I just get in the box and react at what I'm seeing. I'm an athlete, I'm great at this game, and trusting that I've put in the work and that whatever I do, it's gonna come to fruition. Like, I don't have to worry about what I'm doing, because if I just play the game, then the results will show up the way I want it to.
Well, I'm a big believer. Hannah, thank you for your time. You'll always be my favorite softball palindrome.
Yeah, also my parents and my brothers love the phrase, home run in a phone booth. So if we can get one of those tonight, that'd be great. They would love that.
Whatever the Flippins want, they're going to get. Thank you, Hannah.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Hannah Flippen. Man, she's been a joy to watch. Actually very familiar with this field. You're talking about how this field plays. She's played here 3 consecutive years. Before that, this was her home field. She spent some time National Pro Fast Pitch as a member of the Chicago Bandits. Bubba Nichols. Back-to-back homers here in the 3rd inning for Team Chitister. Chitister, Piancastelli. All 3 runs for Team Chitister. Solo homers. Nisa Urtez got one back in the 2nd. Uh-oh! Home run in a phone booth! Pop up to Flippen, she makes the play. Flippins, I hope you were watching.
That does it for the bottom of the 3rd inning.
What a couple of home runs for Team Chitister, and we're tied at 3.
We go from home runs in a phone booth to home runs leaving the yard with a long distance. It's Amanda Chitister with the solo shot to center field, and then Erica Piancastelli going opposite field, driving that one to right. We've got ourselves a tie ball game.
Back-to-back home runs an inning ago by Amanda Chidester, Erica Piancastelli, and we are tied at 3 as we play the 4th inning. The Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. For a limited time, join as an MVP-level member, and you'll also receive an exclusive Unlimited Club softball t-shirt. For more information or join today, go to auprosports.com. Let's check in with Key Michael.
Guys, I'm here with Chitty's dad, and I'm so glad I was sitting here right when she got the home run. You jumped up and looked like you were having the best time ever, and I feel like that's what it is to be a softball dad, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm just glad my wife just dropped me off and she went to the store. I'm like, no, I'm going into the game, so I want to make sure I got to see her at bat, and boom, she didn't disappoint, so that was fun.
That was awesome. And I was asking you, so Chitty's on the verge of retirement, and I was asking you what has been the best part of her career, or what are you going to miss the most? What was your answer?
I guess the home runs will be the biggest part I'm going to miss the most, just watching her play, and yeah, it's just been quite a ride for a long time.
Yes, she's been amazing for a long time,
yeah.
But also she has a silver medal in her pocket. But a lot of people don't know the struggle she had to overcome to get there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big story for her, I think, is just her overcoming obstacles, and she played for Team USA for 7 years and then got cut from the team, which was pretty devastating for the family and for her, but then she worked really, really hard. She went to the NPF, became Player of the Year, and then that last tryout before the Olympics, they put her back on the team, and she had a great, Olympics. Had game-winning walk-off against Australia, so yeah, I'm sure they're glad that they kept her.
So many moments like that, but she worked her butt off to get there.
She really did.
And off the field, she's got a wedding coming up.
Yep. Nisa Urtez, and Nisa just got back from Japan, and it's pretty exciting. Here they both hit home runs in the first game.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Awesome. We got a lot of great players in the family.
It seems so. Well, I know that the softball world's going to miss Chitty if and when she does retire. Maybe we'll convince her for one more year.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Good luck.
Well, thank you
I'll
so
be
much.
in the corner.
Okay, thanks so much for being on the broadcast.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
It's going to be a special 5 weeks for Amanda Chitister and the softball community getting a chance to watch her, one of the great pros over the last decade plus. That leadoff walk to Kelsey Harshman breaks the streak of 7 consecutive retired by Peyton St. George. This is Taylor Edwards.
We're going to see if Peyton St. George can make a quicker adjustment than what we saw back in the first inning after giving up that leadoff walk to Victoria Hayward. Ended up giving up a base hit to Jasmine Jackson to score Hayward for the first run of this ball game. But we were just talking about Amanda Chitister, and I think that clip we just saw of her over at first base, she's just somebody that is playing with so much joy. I think you find that maybe some athletes might put more pressure on themselves knowing that retirement is looming, but she just looks like she is having so much fun every single time she steps out onto the field.
Look at Edwards. Team first Edwards lays down a sneak attack bunt. She's actually going to get points for that. You get points for laying down a sacrifice, and the runner moves over into scoring position. Harshman at second with 1 out.
And I know we talked about it earlier, but there are no coaches. Of course, we have a couple of facilitators out there, but these players are making these decisions themselves, making the decision to lay down a sacrifice bunt to advance that runner over into scoring position.
A sacrifice bunt is 10 points. Just as many points for laying down a successful sacrifice as you do for a single. Allison Febri, little cue shot down the third base line, and a nice play. Sydney Sherrill Sydney Sherrill making this year's team not only for her bat, but also considered to be one of the best third basemen defensively, showing you what she's all about.
And she made that play look really easy, too. That was a ball that had a ton of spin coming off the bat of Allison Febri, but she fielded it cleanly, looked Kelsey Harshman back over to second base, and then fired across the diamond to get the second out of this inning.
Here's Kiki Stokes O'Connor. Struck out looking her first time up. Kiki's got, if you're following the pattern, she's got a chance to be the champion of this year's Athletes Unlimited field. The previous 3 champions, you had Osterman, Ocasio, and O'Toole. She just got married. It was Kiki Stokes. She's now Kiki Stokes O'Connor. So she's got an O beginning her last name now. It's kind of, get that hyphen out of there. Just got married this summer. Kiki Stokes O'Connor. Celebrating by joining Athletes Unlimited for the first time. She has played pro ball. We saw her in the NPF.
I'm just so impressed with your observation skills, because I've looked at those champions over and over and over, and never once did I say, hey, look, all their last names start with O.
2 outs, runner on at second. And a good eye by Stokes O'Connor. From Olathe, Kansas. Played in the Big 12. Check that. I think it was all Big 10. Maybe the beginning part of her career would have been the Big 12. But she was teammates with Taylor Edwards. Playing for Rhonda Revelle. And a good at bat for Kiki Stokes O'Connor. Works the walk. That's the second walk allowed by Peyton St George here in the 4th inning.
And a good adjustment, too, for Kiki Stokes O'Connor after striking out in the first at-bat. Watched a couple of close pitches go by for balls. Ends up working her way on base with a free pass.
And now St. George will have to deal with Victoria Hayward. Hayward will be the first batter to face St. George 3 times. To third, that's a fair ball. Sherrill makes the play, side retired. So Peyton St. George, a couple of walks, but no damage done. Puts a 0 on the board. We're tied at 3-3. Downtown, Rosemont, Illinois. Man, what do we want to do? Restaurants, hang outside, listen to music? Come on down. Welcome back, everyone. Rosemont, Illinois. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering today, Aspiration has committed 9,510 trees all across Athletes Unlimited sports. Really cool. We have 6 runs scored so far as we play the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-3 tie and a new pitcher for Team Eberle. The captain, Carrie Eberle, calling her number.
Carrie Eberle is very well known for her drop ball. She likes to work the ball down in the zone. She's got a ton of movement on that pitch, a very heavy drop down in the zone. She's also got a good off speed that she's going to mix in there every once in a while. One of the most important things for her when she is drafting a team is she wants a strong defense behind her, and the reason for that is because of how often she works the ball down in that strike zone with that heavy drop ball. She's trying to induce ground ball outs to her D behind her, working both sides of the plate. And again, it's that off speed. That's the pitch that I think is the difference maker for her going up against hitters like Allie Harrell.
And last year as a rookie, it was amazing how frequently Eberle was able to get a double play behind her. Didn't walk many. Whenever someone get a base hit, there was always the potential to turn 2. Massive weapon at this level. Because guys are going to put the ball in bat in the ball.
And I think she's a pitcher, too, that can really benefit from playing on this turf infield. As an infielder, you know you're going to get that true hop every single time. So you can play maybe a little bit deeper knowing that the ball's going to skip to you just a bit faster than it normally would.
There's that ground ball. Flippen throws to first. Harrell is retired. First out here in our 4th inning. We've got inning points on the line once again. Team Chitister, they won the 2nd inning, they won the 3rd inning, and now with a run here, they would win the 4th inning. They've got a pinch hitter. First time we've seen Aubry Leach in 2 years. Aubry Leach playing in the inaugural Athletes Unlimited season 2020. Last year did not play. Now back in the fold, former Tennessee Lady Vol.
Talk about some of these athletes juggling coaching along with being a professional athlete. Aubry Leach is enrolled in law school at the University of Tennessee. So really having to hone in on her time management skills to be able to still perform at this elite level, something that is so impressive when I watch these athletes come out here and compete, is the way that they are able to keep their bodies in such a great shape to be ready for this Athletes Unlimited season.
Leach getting ready for law school by being a political science major as an undergrad in Knoxville. Houston native. She finished 17th as a rookie in 2020. That's a good showing for her back in 2020. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leach.
She is the ultimate competitor in the box, and you're going to see that from the stare that she gives every single pitcher out there in the circle. One of those lefties that has a lot of tools. She can bunt, she can slap it, she can also hit away with a little bit of pop in her bat.
Stays alive.
It's always interesting as a defender too how you want to play these types of lefty batters, and you can see the infield, especially the middle infielders, creeped up just a bit right there in that base path, respecting the fact that Aubry Leach has a ton of speed coming from the left side, but also she's trying to put that ball into the ground, utilize the drop ball coming out of Carrie Eberle's hand.
Chase to pitch. Eberle strikes out Leach, so Eberle's faced 2. Ground ball out and a strikeout.
You can see Leach trying to get on top of this pitch, but that pitch is just dropping off of the table. She actually got that one to bite a little bit earlier than some of the other pitches that she's thrown, so that one is starting to drop even before it hits home plate. And that's how she was able to get that strikeout.
Here's Aaliyah Andrews. Called strike 1. Interesting. Obviously, Carrie Eberle can do whatever she wants. She's the captain. But Carrie chooses to come in here in the 4th inning. She's facing 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. When Haley Wagner was in the game, she was having to go through McClenny, Romero, Chidester, Piancastelli, Urtez. Obviously, everyone's a pro, and they're all good hitters, but we're talking some of the historically best hitters in the world in McClenny, Romero, Chidester, and Piancastelli. And that is not what Eberle is facing right out of the chute.
Well, and those hitters made an adjustment from their first at-bats to their second at-bats too, so I think that's another reason for this change to bring in Eberle, because they were being aggressive early in the count because of those back-to-back home runs by Chitister and by Piancastelli, wanting to make a change, knowing that not only are these win points on the line, but also these inning points. Every little thing matters here in Athletes Unlimited, and that's why Carrie Eberle decides to make the change here at the bottom of the lineup.
0-2 to Andrews. Andrews, first time up, bounced back to the pitcher. That was Wagner in the 2nd inning. Andrews finished 8th last year as a rookie, Athletes Unlimited softball. Foul ball. You know, the way that Athletes Unlimited works, you get double headers every single time you play. 5 consecutive weeks with games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, full weekends. And then on Monday, a new draft to establish new teams with new captains. Did she go too far? She did. Good job. Carrie Eberle comes on, faces 3 batters. Nothing leaves the infield. She gets in ground ball to short and back-to-back strikeouts of Leach and Andrews.
Carrie Eberle going right after these lefty slappers. This is a drop ball inside, and she gets Aaliyah Andrews for the 2nd strikeout on the afternoon. We've still got ourselves a tied ball game, 3-3 here in Rosemont.
Swinging, Gano, she's done it! A walk-off grand slam to finish the AUX season!
That was back tail end of June. Courtney Gano ending the season out in San Diego in style.
That game was absolute mayhem, just back and forth all game long, and I think Courtney Gano is one of the great stories coming out of AUX, somebody who just stuck with the process, got better and better every single game, and comes through with that game-winning walk-off grand slam.
We're going to see Courtney Gano in our second game today. She's playing for Team Circle. All right, we've turned the page. We're now in the 5th inning. Jasmine Jackson, Hannah Flippen, Mia Davidson scheduled to bat against Peyton St George. All three of these batters seeing St. George for the 3rd time. Madison Chipman, you were an elite hitter, both at Tennessee and playing pro ball for a number of years. Obviously, you had nothing but confidence. You felt like you always had the advantage. But when you saw a pitcher for the 3rd time in a game, clearly you thought that it was big-time advantage for you.
Definitely, depending on the pitcher, though. Sometimes they had my number, I will admit. There were a couple of times where I was like, oh, man, this is not going well.
Do I have to do this again?
When I'm facing somebody like a Chelsea Thomas that has so many tools, that can throw a rise ball, a drop ball, a changeup. And I think that's something that we're seeing out of Peyton St. George in this ball game, her improving from that 1st inning now here into the 5th inning. And it's been that off-speed pitch. When she gets ahead with the off-speed pitch coming in about 55 miles per hour, getting the call right at the knees, then she can throw her screwball, her rise ball that are about 64, 65 miles per hour with that arm side run moving away from those left-handed batters. A perfect example is that pitch right there. If she doesn't have that arm side run, it stays more over the plate, and somebody like a Jasmine Jackson is going to be able to get that into fair territory. But because of that late movement, that's where I've seen her really improve as this game has gone on.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Softly right side, Chidester wins the race to the bag. And the dangerous Jasmine Jackson is out number 1. The last base hit allowed by Peyton St. George came in the 1st inning. A 2-out base hit by Taylor Edwards. Since then, only 2 have reached safely, both on walks. This is a rookie playing her 1st pro game. Hannah Flippen. There's the 1st base hit since the 1st inning. A 1-out single to left for Flippen. 2nd hit of the night for Flippen. She's got 20 points in base hits so far today.
And you talked about these elite hitters getting their 3rd at-bat off of Peyton St. George. Hannah Flippen aggressive early in the count, knowing that St. George is getting ahead with the off-speed. So she goes up there, she sits the off-speed, she gets it on the 1st pitch, and drives it out into left field for a base hit.
Here's Mia Davidson. Davidson, as a true rookie out of Mississippi State, getting the honor of batting 4th in her 1st professional game. She has earned the right with what she did, not only as a college player in the scrimmages preceding this year's draft. She had 4 homers in 2 games.
Davidson, no stranger to the home run. The only player in SEC history, both baseball and softball, to have 90 career home runs. Just impressive what she was able to do every single time up at the plate when she was at Mississippi State. And I know you're very observant of these players, and one thing that I noticed throughout Mia Davidson's career at Mississippi State, and now I'm seeing it here too, is on foul balls, she flips her bat to herself.
Yes.
And she never drops her bat. It is a skill. It's always something that catches my eye. I don't know how she does it.
I was just telling the guys in the truck, I said, you know what, she's known for these bat flips. She just spun it like it was a baton a moment ago. We're going to be watching that all season long, folks.
I'm just glad that we're on the same page and it's only game 1. That means we're off to a great start.
2-2. Flippen, a delayed steal, and she's safe at 2nd. Hannah Flippen, an extra 10 points. Steals 2nd base, and now she's in scoring position.
Hannah Flippen just always looking to do whatever she can to take that extra base. Takes off right on the pitch. It's a good throw by Erica Piancastelli straight down to Sierra Romero. She's just not able to get that tag down in time. I think we heard her talking earlier in the game while she was mic'd up that maybe she was wanting to try to steal a base on Erica Piancastelli, and she does just that here in the top of the 5th inning.
I think she was saying she wanted to see if she could steal home. She was on a 3rd, and I think she was going to try and steal when Piancastelli threw it back to the pitcher. So if she gets to 3rd, we'll see if that's a possibility. All right, so the walk to Davidson. That's been kind of the only fly in the ointment for St. George. She's now walked 4. We've got runners on at 1st and at 2nd. And Sam Fisher is the batter. Sam Fisher coming off an elite AUX season out in San Diego. She has got a golden opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out. Her third look at St. George.
She's hit a couple of ground balls over to the left side, and if I'm Sam Fisher in this situation, I feel like I'd be going up there sitting that off-speed pitch because you know that she's going to throw it for a strike.
There it is.
There it is, right there. 56 miles per hour outside.
Riley Bayless, welcome, Athletes Unlimited. This is her first pro experience. Bayless pinch running at first, replacing Davidson. Two balls and a strike to Fisher. Hey, Vic. Top of the 5th inning, 3-3 tie. St. George gets it under the bat of Fisher. What trust Amanda Chidester has in Peyton St. George. The rookie pitching into the 5th inning in her pro debut. Struck her out. St. George picks up the K. That's her 4th strikeout. It's the 2nd out of the 5th inning.
Went with back-to-back high-velocity pitches, 65 miles per hour, actually low in the zone. And she's somebody who's well known for her upspin on her pitches, and I think that's what Sam Fisher was kind of anticipating, that this ball was going to jump up in the zone, but it stays down. Sam Fisher not able to come up with it. That's a huge 2nd out with 2 runners on board.
And now I think we're going to see a change somewhere. And we're going to have a new pitcher. We're going to have a new pitcher coming into the ball game. Mariah Mason is going to come into the game. So Peyton St. George, all smiles. She's going to keep that ball. New pitcher to tell you about in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Things are getting dicey. It is now the top of the 5th inning. Runners on at first and at second of a tie ball game. Here's our Geico leaderboard. This is updated continually throughout the course of the game. The 3 home runs we've had, Chitister, Piancastelli, and Urtez, they are now tied for the #1 spot with 60 points atop our Geico leaderboard. New pitcher, Mariah Mason, into the ball game. She replaces Peyton St. George.
She's going to come in here throwing really good velocity. She's going to bring it in the high 60s, even touch 70 miles per hour. She's going to work all parts of the strike zone. She's going to work up, she's going to work down, a little bit of east and west, and she's got a nice off-speed pitch that she's going to throw in there as well.
First pitch to Harshman, a steamer, called strike 1. Elsie Harshman, her 3rd Athletes Unlimited season. Played for Team Canada in the World Games early this summer. Little flipper into right field, and the play is made by Nichols. Oh, that saves a run, no doubt about it. Bubba Nichols with the head first dive, and it's a 0 put on the board by Maison.
You know all these pitchers love the defense behind them, and how about Bubba Nichols ending this inning with the diving catch out in right field?
I never in a million years would have imagined that as a young woman I would be able to play on that field. And for me to win gold in front of my hometown, my high school softball coach was there, my AAU basketball coach from like 12U was there. Like, we had so many people. For me to be able to look up in the stands and see my parents, like, I will never experience anything like that playing this game. I know that.
Elite, that's the word that I think about when I think about Haley McClenny. Every single thing that she does, defensively running the bases with a bat in her hands, she is just phenomenal. Team USA this summer playing in Birmingham for the World Games. Man, 533 MVP. That coming off an Olympics when she hit over 500. That's not easy, folks, against unbelievable international competition.
I think we already knew that Hayley McClinney was one of the best hitters in the entire world, but she just confirmed it for any doubters that were out there by batting over 500 in those 2020 Olympics. Just so impressive. One of the toughest outs that you're going to see here at Athletes Unlimited.
And for me, just talking about the last 2 decades, Crystal Bustos, Jessica Mendoza, Kelly Kretschmann, Hayley McClinney, those 4, maybe a couple more, at any point in time over the last 20 years, you could call them the best hitter in the world. McClinney's that good.
And it's her ability to adjust to pitches as they're on their way to her, too, that I think brings her to a completely different level. She has such a great eye up at the plate, and every once in a while you're going to see her get fooled on an off-speed pitch. She might be a little bit farther out on her front foot, but she keeps her hands back. She's still able to make something happen no matter where that ball's coming in there, no matter what speed it's coming in there, because she uses all of her tools that she has up at the plate.
Look at that. Stays back and laces it into center field. Another base hit for McClinney. She's aboard to lead things off in the 5th inning. This is an important inning. We've got 20 inning points on the line. The 4th inning was scoreless, so those 10 inning points roll over here to the 5th. So should Team Chitister score a run off of Carrie Eberle, everyone on Team Chitister will get a +20.
And we're getting late into this ball game too, and they want to come out with those team win points at the end of the day. Still have a tie ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. A great way to get it started by a McClinney base hit.
Here's Sierra Romero, one of the 2 Romeros we have in Athletes Unlimited this summer. Younger sister Sydney playing for Team Zirkel this weekend. Sydney Romero and Team Zirkel will be our 2nd game today. That's Team Zirkel, Team Ocasio. McClinney can run. Second inning for Carrie Eberle, her first look at Sierra Romero. Romero's due. Anytime Romero goes consecutive at bats without a hit, she's due. Any level she's ever played on, she's due. Into the first base dugout. 2-2 to Romero. Not going on too much of a limb to say the greatest player to ever play in the Big Ten. Just like Chidester in the on-deck circle, they both played at Michigan. Eberle knocks it down. The only play is at first. Because she's not able to pick it clean, that's a big, big mistake because it allows McClinney to go to second with just 1 out.
And not just 1 out, but you've got somebody like Amanda Chitister coming up to the plate, and we know what she did in her last at bat. Of course, that was going up against a different pitcher, but she's looking to try to do the same thing here, knowing that it's a tie ball game. Her team needs to score a run here in the bottom of the 5th inning, not just for this ball game, but also those team inning points that you were talking about earlier.
Quality strike, 0-1 to Chitister. Chitister had a ball jump off her bat 77 miles per hour. Her last time up, homer to straightaway center field off of Haley Wagner. Softly, Eberle, underhand to first, 2 down. McClinney moves over to third.
Great way to bounce back for Carrie Eberle after giving up that base hit to Hayley McClinney. A couple of ground ball outs right back to her, working that ball low in the zone. You know from talking to her that she likes to stack the defense behind her, but how about making some plays herself? And she's gonna need to make another one going up against Erica Piancastelli, who's coming up next with that opposite field home run earlier in this ball game.
Piancastelli batting with a runner on at third. Eberle needs to be careful. She's got that down ball. Needs to make sure that doesn't get past the catcher, Edwards. With that home run by Erica Piancastelli, all the historians are saying, uh-oh. Moving up that leaderboard. Remember, she had 9 home runs her first year, 9 home runs. That is the all-time record for a single season, her and Savannah Jaquish, the most home runs in a season with 9. So she's already got 1 halfway through her first game here in 2022. Here's your Geico leaderboard. Base hit here for Piancastelli, and it would be 20 points for everyone on Team Chitister.
It's a really good take by Piancastelli and a good pitch out of the hand of Eberle too, knowing she's ahead 0-2, tries to work the drop ball low and outside, just barely missing outside that strike zone.
One-handed pick by Edwards.
Looks like she was trying to go back for that same spot, but a nice job by Edwards to be able to stop that one from going past her. She was set up way outside and that ball tailed back towards the inside part of the plate.
Another good take by Piancastelli. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eberle doesn't have to give her anything too good. First base and second base wide open. Piancastelli draws the 2-out walk.
The shortstop, number 7, Anissa Urtez.
So Anissa Urtez, already a home run in today's ball game. She'll bat next.
This is what she did off of Haley Wagner earlier today. A pitch up in the zone, a curveball that's working its way back into her barrel, drives it over that center field wall, a whopping 247 feet for the first home run in this championship season.
Carrie Eberle had Piancastelli down in the count 0-2, proceeded to walk her. And now starts with ball 1 to Urtez.
You can tell she's pitching very carefully to these home run hitters for Team Chitister. Trying to work those drop balls outside. Piancastelli specifically, she was working the ball down in the zone, tried to bring it up on that last pitch, but it was called for ball 4. Starts off this at-bat to Anissa Urtez with the ball, but comes right back with a strike to even it up.
Chop to third, Fisher. Urtez is retired and Eberle gets out of it. Eberle has runners on at first and at third, but she gets Urtez to bounce out and we're still tied.
What's up? You know.
I can't wait to be on the same team as you.
I know, that'd be great.
That'd be so fun.
That'd be so fun. Shout out to the little sister Sophia, just killed it in Indiana. And then I have this other sibling. It's kind of a big deal. Might have heard of him. Mikey Romero just got drafted, first round, 24th overall pick to the Red Sox. I love that. Good job. Come, girl.
Sierra Romero, big deal herself. She's talking about her siblings. Didn't even mention the other sibling, Sydney, who's actually here and will play in our night game as a great baseball/softball family, the Romeros.
It's probably because they're competitors right now. They're competitors here in Athletes Unlimited. That's probably why she didn't mention her.
It's great to have Sierra here at Athletes Unlimited. She's been banged up over the last couple of years, but she's healthy now and one of the great all-around players in our game over the last decade. DJ Sanders, all right. Welcome to 2022 Athletes Unlimited Softball. She's been around every single time we played a season. First ball swinging. That was a little number with a lot of English on it, but right back to the pitcher. Masson makes the play.
First baseman.
One pitch, one out. DJ Sanders, that's a quick night for her.
And that's the kind of out that you want to see if you're Masson. Out there in the circle. One pitch, recording the first down at the top of the 6th inning. Trying to keep this score as it is to give your team an opportunity to score a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Allison Febri. Bounced out to first, bounced out to third. Febri's had a busy summer, played for Team Canada in the World Games, Birmingham, Alabama. Ball just disappeared.
Great movement on that drop ball with some really good velocity too. We saw her throw it the pitch before outside 68 miles an hour, decides to bring it inside low in the zone at 67. Back again at 68. When you've got a pitch coming in that hard with that much movement, as a batter, you have to make a decision so quickly. You also have to swing where you know the ball's going to end up, not where you see it. And then she comes in there with the rise ball up and out of the zone to completely change the direction in which that pitch is moving.
Masson from Tulare, California, played collegiately at Oregon State 5 years, never transferred anywhere, just 5 years in Corvallis. Capping her college experience with a trip to the Women's College World Series.
A fantastic pitcher, but also a fantastic hitter as well. We haven't seen her as much from the offensive side in AUX and now here in the championship season, but she can really do it from both sides of the field.
Oh my, gets the benefit of the doubt. First strikeout of the ball game for Masson. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Let's take a look at our Geico defensive play of the game, and it came back an inning ago. The right fielder, Bubba Nichols.
Saved her team a couple of runs by diving out in right field. 2 runners on board at this time, and she lays it all out on the line. Sierra Romero loves it. You know, the pitchers love it. We talk about the offense here in Athletes Unlimited, but I love to watch these defensive players shine and make fantastic plays like that.
Kiki Stokes O'Connor fouls it off her foot. A lot on the line here in the 6th inning. It's getting late. Neither team has scored in the 4th or the 5th, so this 6th inning is worth 30 points. Whichever team scores more this inning wins the inning. Every single player on the roster gets a plus 30. Love the strike zone. 0-2. It's been that way all game long. The corners have been open. Stokes O'Connor takes high. Team Eberle jumped out early. They put 3 runs on in the 1st inning on 4 base hits. None of those hits particularly hard hit, but they've been silent ever since. The only hit since the 1st inning for Team Eberle coming in inning number 5, a 1-out single by Hannah Flippen. They've had a couple of walks, but really not much of a rally at all against the combination of Peyton St George and Mariah Masson. Stokes O'Connor wearing that half shield. A lot of times you have the full face mask, sometimes nothing. She's got the half shield. Uh-oh, it's gonna be tough for Chitister. Amanda Chitister wins the race to the bag. Chitty just wanted it. Wasn't gonna let the inning continue. It's a 1-2-3 frame thrown by Masson. Good job. She's come out of the pen and retired 4 in a row.
Chitty's had to make a play like this a couple of times in this ball game, showing off the wheels over at first base.
Three tie, bottom of the 6th inning. Team Chitister, Team Eberle. We've got a lot of inning points on the line. 30 for whoever wins this inning. Here's our Sunday Night Baseball matchup. The Cubs and the Giants going to wrap up their 4-game series at Oracle Park. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. With Madison Shipman, I'm Eric Collins. Carrie Eberle in the circle. She's captain of this week's team, and she gives up a first pitch single to Bubba Nichols. Straightaway center field, solid single for Nichols.
I love the swing adjustment by Bubba Nichols. First pitch of the at-bat, she knows that Carrie Eberle is going to work that drop ball down in the zone. Look at how low this pitch is. It's below her knees, but she knows that ball is going to continue to work its way down, so she gets her barrel underneath it, lifts it out for a line drive into center field.
This is interesting. You got Team Chitister bringing in a bopper. We got Jordan Roberts, who has played very well in parts of 2 seasons here with Athletes Unlimited, but she is long ball or bust. You could play small ball, bring up someone to lay down a bunt, and just move Nichols over to second. This run is so important. Uh-oh, see, this is the damage. This could be 2. Double play ball. It's turned 1-6-3 on the double play. So they choose not to put down a sacrifice bunt, and it comes back to haunt them.
That's exactly what you did not want if you're Team Chitister, but that's exactly why you're in the circle if you're Carrie Eberle, to roll up double plays like this, ground ball right back to her. She knows where she's going to go as soon as she fields that ball, immediately fires to second base, Hannah Flippen there to make the turn. A beautiful 1-6-3 double play.
Oh my. Since the beginning of time, late in the game, you get a run on at first, you lay down a bunt. But not today, and it results in a double play ball. So the last hope here in the 6th inning for Team Chidester is Aubry Leach. Leach coming into the game back in the 4th inning and struck out. That was against Carrie Eberle. That is the great equalizer for Eberle. Any kind of trouble, she can get out of it with one pitch. It's amazing how many double plays are turned behind her.
She knows she doesn't have to go up there and blow the ball by all these batters. She knows that she has elite level movement on that drop ball, so she just needs to put her faith, put her trust in her infielders behind her and let them do the work. We've seen a couple of ground balls that have gone right back to her, and right there she knows that, hey, this hard ground ball I'm going to try to turn to clear the bases.
Yeah, the last 6 batters that Eberle has faced, 3 have hit soft comebackers right to her. And Eberle's credit, she is a very good fielding pitcher. How about this little factoid with Aubry Leach? She was the highest finisher in the inaugural season with Athletes Unlimited back in 2020. She was the highest finisher who did not return last year. Finished 17th in 2020, and last year was not in the mix, but she's back here for year 3. Again, right in front of the mound, and this time it just dies, and it's going to be an infield single for Leach. So 2 outs, a base runner aboard for Team Chidester. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is brought to you by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. Let's see if Team Chidester has some 2-out magic. Aaliyah Andrews, the batter. Ball 1. Leach may think about trying to steal a bag. One of the things she may have to deal with, I've noticed over the years, Hannah Flippen is elite at tagging base runners.
Well, and now normally the shortstop, Hannah Flippen, would be covering second, but because you have somebody like Aaliyah Andrews up at the plate, it's going to be the second baseman, Kelsey Harshman, that's going to come over and cover second. So you're going to see the entire infield shift over towards the left, knowing that, hey, Carrie Eberle is going to try to roll a ground ball to the left side of the field. She's going to work the ball outside to Andrews. Right on cue, you see Taylor Edwards setting up way outside. All part of the strategy. Different infielders, different pitchers have different strategies when it comes to having speed on first base with a slapper up at the plate, and here they're deciding to shift the entire infield to funnel ground balls to the left side. And as a slapper, you're doing whatever you can to not hit into that defense.
Fisher makes the nice play, and the side is retired. Team Chitister, 2 base hits in the inning, but they can't get anything going. We've made it through 6. 3-3 tie to the 7th we go. Well, in the first 3 innings, we had 3 runs scored by both sides, but in the next 3 innings, nothing but zeros. It's now the 7th. It's a 3-3 tie, Team Eberle, Team Chidester. Well, fans, are you curious about how these teams get drafted every week? Tune in every Monday, 5 Eastern, to Live Athletes Unlimited Weekly Draft and see for yourself. Find out who gets drafted first, where all your favorite players land, and what color jersey they'll be wearing. For more information on the Athletes Unlimited Draft, go to auprosports.com. Amanda Chidester, one of the captains, she picked her fiancée, Anissa Urtez, because she could, and Urtez rewarded her with a home run back in inning number 2. For those of you looking for the CFL game, Canadian Football League action, it's going to start over on ESPNU. CFL on ESPNU. Speaking of Canadian, you got Victoria Hayward, born in Toronto, played for Team Canada for many, 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 many years. Bloops it down the right field line. That's a solid single for Hayward. And remember, she can scoot. Every single she gets is basically a double because she's going to be running here.
Well, as soon as you see that line come across that she's 0 for 2, you know she's due for a hit. She stands in there and swings away in this at-bat and drives it down that right field line. And I would not be surprised if we see her try to take off and steal second to move on over into scoring position.
Really, this inning is a 90-point inning. We've got a carryover, so this inning, whoever wins it gets 40 points, but whoever wins this inning is going to win the game, and that's a plus 50. So whoever outscores the other team here in this 7th inning, everyone on their team is going to get 90 points. Jasmine Jackson doubled her first time up, lays down a bunt. Cheryl throws a bullet. Man, she's fun to watch. Sydney Cheryl pouncing on that, and the out is recorded at first. It'll go as a sacrifice. So 10 points for Jasmine Jackson for doing her job.
The benefit of having somebody as fast as Jasmine Jackson up there to lay down a sacrifice bunt is the defense has to make a play in a hurry. Sydney Cheryl makes this play look easy, but she's charging hard. As soon as she sees those hands turn to square to bunt, fires across to first, and it does indeed move Hayward over to second base.
Here's Hannah Flippen, 2 for 3. RBI single back in the first inning, singled and scored her last time up. This is her first look at Mason. Flippen looks locked in. Always been one of the more difficult pros to strike out. Very patient.
Coming out of her hand, I thought this one would be called for a strike. A little bit too far inside.
3-0. Ooh, she swung 3-0.
I like the aggressive swing.
How many times in your life, Madison Shipman, did you swing 3-0?
I don't think maybe once. 3-1 a lot. But 3-0, I don't think I ever did. I think I just sat there with my bat on my shoulder.
Pops it up. Down the third base line, out of play. So we go from 3-0 to 3-2. Like I said, one of the more difficult humans to strike out. Flippen's going to put it in play somewhere. You got Hayward on at second. 1 out. 90 points on the line. Team Eberle did all their scoring back in the first inning. Scored 3, nothing but 0 since. Looped into left field, and it stays up long enough for Andrews to make the play. Flippen can't complain. Hit it hard, but to the wrong person. 2 down.
It's a great at-bat, too. Fouling off pitches down the left side, over to the right side. You just had a feeling that an off-speed pitch was coming, and I think Hannah Flippen had the same feeling, too. She got a little bit fooled, a little bit out on her front foot, but kept her hands back enough to hit that one hard. Just happened to go straight to Aaliyah Andrews out and left.
Here's Mia Davidson, looking for her first pro hit. A lot expected out of Mia Davidson. Batting in the cleanup spot, her first pro game. 0 for 2, did draw a walk her last time up. Best to ever come out of Mississippi State, and that's saying something. Ooh, that hit her on the hand. Got her on the left hand, and are they going to say that it got some bat too? It's a foul ball? That's a tough way to get a strike.
It looks like she's shaking her hand. I thought it might have hit off of the wrist or the top of the hand.
Sam Fisher in the on-deck circle is getting closer and say, what? Rookie can't catch a break.
Not to mention it's coming in there in the high 60s,
yeah,
too, so that one did not feel good.
Doesn't look like Davidson's bluffing. Well, don't go pulling a tiger by its tail, right? Just making Davidson angry.
Looks like the umpires are going to come in and have a conversation about it.
And they're going to review it. Just want to make sure that the call on the field is correct, so we have an official timeout. This will be a captain's challenge.
A video review is underway.
I just don't think you can be that much of an actor. Clearly looked like it.
Even from that view, it looks like it's hitting wrist, top of the hand to me. Now, I do think it's important to note that the call on the field was a foul ball, so there has to be indisputable video evidence to change that call. To me, it still looks like it's hitting the top of the hand. And contrary to popular belief, the hands are not part of the bat. So if it hits the top of the hand, that's a hit by pitch, and 8 points for Mia Davidson. I really think our ump cam might be the best look that we have at.
I agree. Davidson was clearly in pain instantly. Our replay advisor is Rachel Palmer.
Replay shows that the ball hit the hand, and we are going to award first base. The call will be changed.
All right, fantastic, and we're the first to know, so Mia Davidson's about to get real happy. So we were told before the umpires are told, and now here's the official ruling from our home plate umpire, Scott Mayer. All right, so on to first base goes Davidson, and she says, it's about time. I told you a moment ago. So we got runners on at first and at second. There are 2 outs, and Sam Fisher will be the batter. And Davidson is going to be lifted for a pinch runner. Riley Bayless comes back in to run.
Running for Team Eberle down at first base, number 72, Riley Bayless.
So Bayless on at first, Hayward on at second, Sam Fisher the batter. Fisher's first look at Mason. Single back in the first inning, a bounce out and a strikeout so far tonight.
Took a really big cut at that drop ball outside anticipating that that ball's going to have that downward movement on it. But you got to be careful going up against somebody like Mason, because she's got that rise ball that can move in a completely different direction. Right on cue, 65 miles per hour. Starts off looking like it's going to come in the same location as the pitch before, but that one rises up in the zone, whereas the pitch before worked its way down in the zone.
This is an important bat on a number of different levels. Obviously, Team Eberle, they want to score here. But if they don't, looking at the Team Chitister portion of the lineup, it's going to be McClenny, Romero, and Chitister, and maybe Piancastelli if anyone gets on. So that's close to murderer's row. That has got a real good opportunity to score a run when you think about what Team Chitister has coming to the plate in the bottom of the seventh. So it is close to mandatory that Team Eberle scores a run here in the top.
And you know, it's really interesting how this game feels like two completely different ball games in one. At the beginning, we saw a lot of scoring early from both of these teams, and it's just been goose eggs up on the scoreboard ever since. I think these pitchers have really settled down, got ahead early in the counts, and really kept the pitches on the outside part of the strike zone. Where you find them getting into trouble is when those balls leak too much over the heart of the plate. These elite hitters back to back to back are truly going to make you pay for any mistakes.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Fisher on her way down to first, and the ball gets away. The run scores. Hayward scores all the way from second on the strikeout. Oh my goodness. Mason got the strikeout she wanted, but when the catch wasn't made by Piancastelli, they had to throw to first to get the out, and the throw wasn't there in time.
Of all ways to score a run, I did not think it was going to be on a strikeout. And this pitch was supposed to be outside, but it ends up working its way inside. Sam Fisher misses it on the swing. It gets past Erica Piancastelli, who tries to make the out over at first. Not able to get her. And Hayward showing off the wheels.
Now, if that had happened, clearly with 0 outs or 1 out, you can't even think about doing that with his run on a first base and occupied. But with 2 outs, you need to get the final out at first, and Team Chitister was not able to make the play. Oh my, what a way for Team Eberle to score for the first time since the first inning. Just a gut punch. It scored an error on the catcher Piancastelli. So interestingly, the way that it's scored, it's actually every run scored is going to be unearned from now on because there should be 3 outs. So the pass ball error on the catcher, no RBI. You still got the inning alive. Runners on at first, then at third for Harshman. Lifted into the air, hit well, McClenny going back at the track, makes the play. Harshman gave it a ride, but to the wrong part of the ballpark and to the wrong human being. Haley McClenny makes the play, but the side is retired. Damage done for Team Eberle. They're trying to hold on to a 1-run lead. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering today, Aspiration has committed 9,510 trees all across Athletes Unlimited sports. Now tomorrow we've got wall-to-wall Athletes Unlimited action, and we started off with lacrosse. You got lacrosse at 1:30 on ESPN Plus, and then at 4 o'clock on ESPN2, followed by 2 more softball games. Team Zirkle, Team Chitister, Team Eberle, Team Ocasio. Your doubleheader starting at 6:30 with a nightcap at 9. Don't forget, we've got another game coming your way tonight here from this venue. We are getting opening weekend of Athletes Unlimited softball off in style. 2 games Friday, 2 Saturday, and 2 on Sunday to conclude week 1. Here's Haley McClenny. Team Chitister down a run. Team Eberle trying to hang on. Good luck. They're going through 3 unbelievable hitters in McClenny, Romero, and Chitister. McClenny 2 for 3, a double and a single, also flied out to center. There is a massive gap in right center field. If she can get it over Kelsey Harshman's head, she can run for days.
Well, what that would tell me as a left-handed batter is that Carrie Eberle is going to try to work the ball outside so that does not happen, so that Haley McClenny cannot get her barrel around a pitch and drive it out into the right center gap.
Beautiful pitch. Eberle's been a ground ball waiting to happen since she came on. There has not been a ball to the outfield against her. You had the single by Bubba Nichols, but that's it. Everything else has been a ground ball out to an infielder.
Well, that's her game plan, right? She's trying to keep the ball down in the zone, to keep the ball in the park, to allow her defense to make plays behind her. She's done exactly that. I think she was really strategic in which she entered this ball game, knowing that Team Chitister really started to get a bit of momentum with those 3 solo home runs. Wanted to shut things down.
Eberle has struck out 2. She has allowed 6 balls hit into play that were turned into outs. All 6 have been ground ball outs. There have been no fly ball outs. It's one of the things that we closely track with Eberle. Ground ball outs to fly ball outs, and it's usually just a crazy ratio. Two-two pitch.
I think the ball that's gotten the most air underneath it was the base hit to center field by Bubba Nichols. The pitch low and inside, she got her barrel underneath it, but that pitch was so low in the zone, that was about all you could do with that pitch, was hit the line drive out to center field.
And the only other base hit allowed was Aubry Leach, a swinging bunt with 2 outs in the 6th. Wonderful eye by McClenny, 3-2. And all of a sudden, this becomes so important.
Goes with that drop ball away. Doesn't miss by much. Just barely outside.
Maybe the biggest pitch of the ball game. Wow, Eberle, another ground ball out. First baseman Febri makes the play, and that is a huge first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Hey fans, it's time to earn points for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard. To get the app downloaded today for free at your app store and get access to great content and experiences all season long. Sierra Romero next in line. Romero bounced to the pitcher back in the 5th inning. Her second look at Eberle. Harry Eberle drafted and started Peyton St George. She allowed St George to pitch the first 3 innings. St George is pretty darn good. Now Eberle coming on. I apologize. Eberle had Haley Wagner to begin the ball game. Wagner pitched the first 3 innings, and ever since it has been Eberle throwing zeros on the board.
I like the idea of starting Haley Wagner in this ball game too. She's somebody that's going to be a different look, coming from the left side, has a lot of upspin on her pitches, knowing that if you're the team captain, you're Carrie Eberle, you want to play to your strengths. You have a pitcher working the ball up in the zone to start the ball game. That way these hitters have to make a drastic adjustment when you come into the game, throwing that heavy drop ball down in the zone.
Romero takes a called strike. 3-1. Eberle needs 2 more. Team Chidester down a run. Only 2 more outs to work with. Check swing went too far. 3-2. Second straight batter that's gone 3 balls and 2 strikes here against Eberle. Lost her. Romero on to first base with 1 out.
It's a really solid take by Sierra Romero, but that pitch did not miss by much outside. I think so far in the 7th inning, this is the tightest we've seen the strike zone all game long, especially on the outside part of the plate. You could see Carrie Eberle trying to work that drop ball across the plate to get those ones called outside to Romero. Gives up that free pass, and now you've got somebody like Amanda Chitister up at the plate.
I could see a universe where with one swing of the bat, Amanda Chidester could get 190 points. If she hits a home run right here, she would win the game for Team Chidester. She would surely be the MVP. It would be 40 points for the homer, and they'd win all those inning points as well. It would be 190 points with one swing of the bat. All she has to do is hit a homer off of Carrie Eberle, though.
That's what makes Athletes Unlimited so fun, because of course game-winning walk-off home runs are always exciting, but here at Athletes Unlimited it means just a little bit more when you've got all those points on the line, all those MVP points, all the inning rollover points, the team win points. Every little thing matters. This is what she did back in the 3rd inning off of Haley Wagner, a pitch up in the zone. She knew it as soon as that ball left her bat that it did not stand a chance of staying in the yard. Perfectly on time, smacked that one over the center field wall.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Chidester. Romero on at first. Eberle trying to protect a 1-run lead. On the ground, could be 2. To short, to first, double play! Carrie Eberle! What a brilliant performance out of the pen! Ground ball after ground ball after ground ball, and Team Eberle wins the first game of the 3rd season of Athletes Unlimited Softball.
A couple of huge double plays that Carrie Eberle used to her advantage, and of course one more to end the ball game after giving up the free pass. The big double play to get Amanda Chitister out to end this ball game and give her team the first win of this season.
Carrie Eberle never ceases to amaze with her ability to get that ground ball and the double play behind her. What a performance! Eberle finds herself on top of the leaderboard. We still have to factor in win points and MVP points, and there's the extra 50 for Eberle to getting her to 148. We have MVP points still in line, so we'll update that later when we have our 2nd game.
Well, it's still early, but somebody with an E in front of their last name is in the lead so far in Athletes Unlimited. Will we see somebody with a different last name other than starting an O? We will find out the rest of this season.
Madison Shipman, you're brilliant. Let's do it again. We've got another game coming your way in about 20 minutes. It's going to be on ESPN+. We're waiting on Team Ocasio and Team Zirkle. Hopefully we'll have another one just like this.